bum, 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 bum. Oh, oh, sorry. I was really jamming to that countdown song. So that was pretty. And anyways, hello, welcome everybody. I am so beyond excited to be here today with you. Welcome to Storytime. My name is Erin, and I'm with Charlotte Mecklenburg Library. And from what I understand, it sounds like you have already heard some pretty cool stories today. So I'm really excited to share another one with you here today. So, Storyvine, traditional storytelling. What is that? Well, I am so glad that you asked. So, traditional storytelling are stories that are passed down from generation to generation to generation. And not only spans time, but it spans cultures and it spans family traditions. And I think what you also might have noticed is well, nothing up my sleeve here, nothing up my sleeve here. No books, no props, no music. It's just you and me telling stories, which is really, really, really cool and a fun way because oral storytelling goes back so far. So, just a quick tip, if there is a story that you know and that you love, maybe you could try your hand at some traditional storytelling too. Just throwing it out there. Well, I think it's maybe time that we go ahead and get started. So I am so excited to share with you this story today because it's actually a story that you might know. And one of my storytellers told another version of it this morning. I don't know if you heard Pretty Salma from Africa this morning. Did you? Maybe? Okay. Well, you might have known that that is a version of Little Red Riding Hood, as is mine, because the story that I'm sharing today is called Lan Popo. And this story comes to you from China. And it's also a version of Red Riding Hood, too. So it'll be interesting to hear the differences between the story that you know, the Pretty Salma version that you heard this morning, and this version from China as well. Because there are so many of your favorite stories that get a different twist. So maybe take a listen and see and hear what differences that you find. So should we go ahead? Let's get this party started and let's go ahead and start with Lan Popo, a Red Riding Hood tale from China. Once, long ago, there was a woman who lived alone in the country with her 3 children, Sheng, Tao, and Paozu. On the day of their grandmother's birthday, the good-hearted mother went to go see her. But, before she left, she told her 3 children, now this is really, really important. She told them, "Be good, my good-hearted children. Lock the door tight at dusk and do not let anyone in." Very important words. But here's the thing, my friend, here's the thing. An old wolf nearby had heard this and saw the good mother leave. At dusk, disguised as an old woman, he came up to the house of the children and knocked on the door twice. Shang, who was the eldest, listened through the latch door and said, "Who is it?" "My little jewels," said the wolf. "This is your grandmother, your Popo." "Popo," Shang said. But our mother has gone to visit you." The wolf, being the wolf, acted surprised. "To visit me? Well, I have not seen her along the way. She must have taken a different route." "Popo," Shang said. "Well, why have you come to us so late?" Oh, the wolf answered, "The journey is long, dear children, and the day is short." Well, Shang continued to listen through the door and said, "Popo, why is your voice so low?" "Oh, your grandmother has caught a cold. It is cold and windy outside, children. Please, let me in at once," said the cunning old wolf. Well, while Shang was a little unsure, Tao and Paozu couldn't wait. They ran to the door, and one unlatched it, and the other threw it open, and they said, "Popo, come in, come in." And, oh, friends, at that moment, the moment the wolf entered the house, he blew out the candle. Popo, Shang said. Well, why have you blown out the candle? The room is so dark. But the wolf did not answer. Well, Tao and Pao Tzu rushed to their Popo and wished to be hugged, while the wolf hugged Tao first and said, "Oh, good child. Oh, you are so plump." Then the wolf held Pao Tzu and said, "Oh, good child. You have grown so sweet." Soon, the wolf pretended to be sleepy. He yawned. "All the chickens in the coop. Your Popo is sleepy too." When he climbed into the big bed, Pao Tzu followed on one end, while Tao and Shang climbed in on the other. Oh, but when Shang stretched real big, she touched the wolf's tail. Popo, your foot has a bush on it. Popo has brought strings of hemp to make you a basket, said the wolf. Oh, well then Shang touched her grandmother's sharp claws. Oh, Popo, there are thorns on your hand. Oh, said Shang. Oh, I have brought an owl to make you shoes, said the wolf. Well, at once, Shang lit the light, but the wolf quickly blew it out, but not before Shang had seen the hairy face of the wolf. Oh, Popo, said Shang, for not only was she the eldest, but she was also the most clever. You must be hungry. You haven't eaten all day. Have you ever had a ginkgo nut? What is ginkgo? Said the wolf. Oh, ginkgo is soft and tender like the skin of a baby. One taste, just one taste, and you will live forever, said Shang. And they grow on the tallest point of the trees right outside the door. Well, the wolf gave a big sigh. Oh dear, Popo is old and her bones are brittle. She can't climb trees anymore. Oh, good, Popo. We can do it. We can climb the trees and get the ginkgo nuts for you, said Shang. Well, the wolf was delighted. So Shang jumped out of the bed, and Tao and Pao Tzu followed right behind. They went outside to the ginkgo tree, and it was there that Shang told her sisters about the wolf. And then all three climbed up the tall ginkgo tree, while the wolf waited and waited and waited. But plump Tao did not come back. Sweet Pao Tzu did not come back. And, well, Shang did not come back. In fact, no one had brought any nuts from the ginkgo tree. Well, the wolf had waited long enough, so at last he shouted, "Where are you, children?" "Popo," Shang called out. We're on the top of the trees eating ginkgo nuts." "Good children," begged the wolf, "pluck some for me." But Popo, ginkgo is magic only if it's plucked directly from the tree. You must come and, well, pluck it from the tree yourself. Well, the wolf came outside and paced back and forth and back and forth under the tree. Well, where he heard the three children eating all of these delicious, delicious ginkgo nuts at the very, very top. Oh, Popo, these nuts are so tasty and the skin is so tender, Shang said. Oh, and you can bet the wolf, his mouth began to water for the taste of those sweet nuts. Finally, Shang, the eldest and the most clever child, said, Popo, I have a plan. At the door, there is a big basket. There's also some rope right behind it. Tie the rope to the basket, sit in the basket, and throw one end to me, and I can pull you up. Well, the wolf was overjoyed and fetched the basket and the rope, and then threw one end of the rope up to the top of the tree. Shang caught the rope and began to pull the basket up and up. All right, friends, let's go ahead and let's pull that basket up, 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 up one more time, up, but halfway. She let go of the rope and the basket, and the wolf fell to the ground. Oh, I am so small and weak, said Shang. I could not hold the rope alone, Popo. This time I will help, Tao said. Let us do it again. Well, the wolf only had one thought in his mind, and that was that sweet, tender ginkgo nut with, so sweet and tender and delicious. So he climbed, back into the basket. Now Shang and Tao pulled the basket together. Can you help me out again, friends? Here we go. Let's pull even harder. Ready? And pull higher and higher and higher and again. They let go. And the wolf tumbled down and down and down and bumped his head. Oh, the wolf was furious. He growled and cursed. We could not hold the rope, Popo, Shang said. But remember, only one ginkgo nut and you will be well again. Because remember, friends, one taste, just one taste of a ginkgo nut and you'll live forever. I shall give a hand to my sisters this time, said Pao Tzu, the youngest sister. This time we shall not fail. Now, the children pulled the rope with all of their strength. All right, friends, you know what to do. Here we go. As they pulled, they sang, hey, you, hey, you, hey, you. And the basket rose straight up higher than the first time, higher than the second time, higher and higher and higher and higher until it reached the top of the tree. When the wolf reached out, he could almost touch the highest branch. But at that moment, Shang coughed and they all let go of the rope, and the basket fell down and down and down. And not only did the wolf bump his head, but he broke his heart to pieces. Popo! Shang shouted, but there was no answer. Popo! Shouted Tao, but there was still no answer. Popo! Pao Tzu shouted, and there was still no answer. The children climbed to the branches just above the wolf and saw that he was truly dead. Then they climbed down, went into the house, closed the door, locked it tight, and fell peacefully asleep. On the next day, their mother returned with baskets of food from their real Popo, and the three sisters told her the story of the Popo who had come to see them. The end. Well, thank you so much for listening to Lan Popo, a Red Riding Hood story from China. And I hope that you heard some really interesting differences from the story that you know, and you'll continue to explore and see if there are maybe even more versions of the Red Riding Hood tale. Now, before I leave you today, I just want to tell you one quick thing about an exciting and super duper cool event that is coming up, our summer break program. Woohoo! Woo! So summer break will be starting in June, and you can register online at cmlibrary.org or call your local branch and they can get you set up and squared away. There's so many great things to look forward to this summer, and we hope to see you there. Once again, summer break, you can give us a call or go to cmlibrary.org to register, and that will start in June through August. Well, friends, once again, thank you so very much for joining me today and sharing this story. Make sure to stay tuned because, oh man, there are still some really great stories to come. Thanks again, everybody. We'll see you again soon.